Hello and welcome to the I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. We're here to talk about tips and strategies to have an I Can Do mindset. Life is what you put into it. Get the most you can. Here's your host, Benjamin Lee.
Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode number 2 of the I Can Do podcast. I hope and pray all is well with you. I am striving to do my best to record a new podcast every Monday. It may not get out right at 8 a.m., but I am going to be as committed as possible to getting it out each Monday for you, the listeners. So wherever you may be, thank you so much. Please leave me a rating on Apple Podcasts, rate and review. Please share with your friends as well. So it was funny. I had a thought that came to me today about The Quiet Place or A Quiet Place. Now, you know that's a movie, right? The second one of this series is now out, A Quiet Place Part 2. I have not seen the second one, but I had a thought that ran through my mind. Why is A Quiet Place so scary? Why is A Quiet Place so scary? Now, before your mind goes to the movies, I want to go in a whole different direction. It is so interesting how we can avoid quietness. Why is it that even as we speak, as we talk, if you notice certain times people who talk, they have to fill every single second, every single moment with ums and ahs, you know, so's, and they just keep on talking where they don't want to have a moment of silence. Why? I think it's because a quiet place can often be a very scary place, especially when it comes to public speaking. That's why a lot of people don't take a pause. That's why a lot of people don't breathe. Because once you get into that quiet place, well, then that's really where fear can creep in. That's really where it can really get scary because now you're thinking, okay, what if I forget? What are other people thinking about me? Why is a quiet place so scary? You know, it's not just with this idea of public speaking. But I watched Black Widow this past weekend, the Marvel movie that was just released. And Black Widow, Natasha, she is running from her past. And as she has to deal with things, I won't give too much away of the movie. One of the things that caught my attention was how she just kept busy so she didn't have to think about her past. I find that very interesting, and that's something sometimes that we can fall right into because if we take the time to slow down, to go into that quiet place, to ponder, to meditate, to reflect, well, it can get really scary. It can get scary because we can really think about the mistakes we've made. It can get scary because we can really start feeling and experiencing some of the regrets that we may have had from the past. It can become scary because we don't really want to acknowledge maybe we're not where we really want to be. A quiet place can be very scary. And I'm not just talking about the movie. Yet, what if we embraced a quiet place? What if we took the time to get to know this thing called silence? The pause. What if we turned off our cell phones, Netflix, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube videos, all the things that distract us and rob us for exploring this place called a quiet place? I will tell you, if we have the courage to do it, it will revolutionize our lives because it's in the quiet place where you can really spend more time alone with your with your Father in heaven in prayer. It's in the quiet place where you can really get some ideas and clarity that maybe you have not had before in previous times because you just have had so much noise that you really haven't even had time to hear yourself think. The quiet place will actually give you more power and confidence because when you speak and you are willing to pause, you tell yourself, I'm not going to rush through this. I don't have to rush because I belong here on this stage, behind this microphone, on this Zoom video. You see, a quiet place does not have to be a scary place. A quiet place can be a special place. It's special because so many people just refuse to go there. But what if I did more? What if you went to a quiet place more often? Well, that's your challenge. I can do, and so can you. This is all about mindset. So maybe you go to a quiet place. Even when it comes to our speech and how we interact with people, our loved ones, we often hurt the ones that are closest to us. And it's because we're afraid to go to that quiet place. We're afraid to be in the silence. And instead of retaliating with harsh words, or instead of not retaliating, rather with harsh words, or following up when someone hurts us to hurt them back as quickly as possible, what if we went to that quiet place to really consider and ponder what we might need to say next? A quiet place is actually a very special place that few will ever explore. It requires self-control. It requires going against the grain. It requires maybe even facing some of your fears or your past or your regrets or your mistakes. But when we do, that quiet place will no longer be a place of fear, but rather a place where we can surrender and even surprise ourselves with so many great things that will come from it. The next time you talk to a loved one, slow down and think. Go to that quiet place. The next time you come home from work or are driving home from work, turn off the iPod. Turn off the, that's kind of outdated, right? Turn off the podcast. How about that? Yeah, even this one, turn it off. Have some quiet time to yourself. Pray to God in heaven if you need to. Use that time alone to explore that quiet moment. It will feel uncomfortable for a little bit, but the more you do it, the more I think you actually are going to crave it and appreciate it. Don't be afraid of a quiet place. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If you are in the need or are looking for more motivation in your life, feel free to check out my website, benjaminlee.blog, where you can find hundreds of encouraging, motivational blog posts on a variety of subjects. You can find all of my books, which can also be found on Amazon.com, and other podcast interviews with a variety of people. I hope this helps. Please leave me a rating and a review. I can do, and so can you. Take care, and God bless.